Hello everyone, welcome to my quick introduction on Environmental Tech 3. Before we get into it though, if you'd like to watch me develop environmental tech or play around with Minecraft and mods and other games, then go follow me on twitch.tv/ValkyrieofNight. The link will be in the description. Alright, so in Environmental Tech 3, things are mostly the same as Environmental Tech 2, except you can make the void miners any direction you want. To construct the multi-blocks though, it's a little different. You don't need the assembler anymore. You just shift right click with all your blocks in your inventory. It'll take all those blocks out and construct the multi-block with it. And then, yeah. So there's another different thing with the multi-blocks in Environmental Tech 3. You'll need IO blocks now. So these, right now there's only Forge Energy input, Forge Energy output, and item output. More will be added as they are needed in the future. But for the void miner, obviously we only need a FE input and an item output. And then the other slots that are open over here, these are also IO slots. You could populate these with more FE inputs if you want, or more item outputs. It's up to you. Or you can just throw some frames in those positions. Anyways, so to get this running, you're gonna need to craft a memory programmer as well, so that you can program some flash memory. Now I'm just going to use a creative energy source on this so we can craft it nice and easily. And I'll need flash memory. Grab one of these. So another different thing is that your crystals will be obtained through the crystal miner instead of the ore miner. So let's craft the crystal miner flash memory. You just put your empty flash memory, or it can be a flash memory that has a program on it already. Just throw it in there, click on the program that you want, it'll craft that, and then you'll be left with the flash memory that has a program on it. And you'll want to put this inside here, and then once it's all synced up, it'll display the RF per tick, or Forge Energy per tick, and we'll need to supply this with some power, obviously. So that's the FE input. Just throw that on there. As you can see, the laser is rendering. This is not final rendering. This will have an animation to the texture eventually. I am basically going to rewrite that rendering fully at some point in a future update. Anyways, let's get this running here. So you need a hopper. You can put that on the item output. Get a chest, throw that on here. Oh. And eventually that'll drop crystals. Crystals are really expensive. They require about 1,000 Forge Energy per tick, and the litherite void miner, I think, requires about 1,000 ticks of operation per crystal. So as you can see, we got our first litherite crystal. The chest there. Now if you wanted to change the program on this, you can just take this out, throw it in your memory programmer, select another miner. So let's go ore miner, craft that up, then you can throw it back in here. The ore miner is cheaper to run, so I think, what's that, 6 up? Yeah, so 1,000 RF per tick, and it's a lot quicker as well. So we'll see those ores come through in a few seconds. There's our first ore. It's another quartz ore. Some ores drop more frequently in the overworld than they do in the nether, and then some drop more frequently in the nether than the overworld. Like nether quartz ore, this actually drops much more frequently, gets mined much more frequently in the nether if you place your void miner in the nether instead. And same with netherite scrap, that'll drop much more frequently in the nether than the overworld. But yeah, that's that's about it with the void miners. The block requirements are basically the exact same as before, obviously minus a couple of structure frames for the IO ports. And yeah, so let's actually build a tier 2, or yeah, we'll just go straight up to tier 8. But yeah, let's make one of these. Actually, let's go, you know what, we'll go with tier 8, but we're gonna build it on its side this time, so I can actually get items out of it. Alright, now we're gonna need our blocks in our inventory. I'm just gonna get a couple stacks of each. Structure panels. And we're gonna go, you know what, let's not put modifiers in there just yet. Get our laser cores, our laser lens holder. Oh yeah, so lenses, the lens blocks have been replaced with the lens holder. Lenses aren't implemented fully yet, so they'll be coming in a future update. And let me see, what else do we need? That's it, I think. Yeah, we'll need IO blocks as well, but we'll place those in after. And shift right click. That'll automatically assemble itself, taking the blocks out of your inventory. Alright, let's fill in these right here. So actually, let's put some null modifiers in there. So if we were to shift right click that, it's actually going through all the blocks again, but it'll get to those blocks that you missed. Alright, FE input and item output. Throw the FE input right here. Let's get the energy source. Put that right there. We'll put the item output right there so we can easily access it. Throw some frames in these positions. And let's get a hopper. And chest. So this is a tier 8. We now have 2 more tiers than environmental tech 2. And I'll be putting an update out that has all the information in the digital guide at some point, but I am still working on that, so it's going to be in a future update. Alright, let's put an ore miner program in there. Now this multi-block's a lot faster. Still costs the same amount per tick, but it's a lot faster, so it ends up being a lot cheaper to run. Until you add modifiers, of course. Oh yeah, so that reminds me, we have to make some modifiers, so we'll get an assembler. You'll need an assembler to craft any of the modifiers in this version. So if we wanted to, let's go look up modifiers, and so the modifiers that you can use on the void miner are amplification modifier. That's basically the old accuracy modifier, so it increases the drop rate of the rate of the lenses. Then the bandwidth modifier is like putting a luck modifier on the multi-block. It'll increase your maximum amount of drops that you can mine for every mine. Then we have frequency modifier. It's just basically a speed modifier. It'll make the multi-block faster at the cost of more power. And then what else do we have on this? I think that's it right now. Yeah, so those 3 modifiers are what you can use on the void miners. So let's craft a frequency modifier. We actually have tiers to the modifiers now as well. So some modifiers have 4 tiers, some modifiers have 8 tiers. All depends on what they do. So let's have a look. So the frequency modifier, let's go to the base litherite tier 1. So it would be redstone blocks, some lonstellite. This you can obtain in the crystal miner. Litherite interconnect. And the interconnects actually have an assembler recipe as well, which requires a redstone imbued obsidian plate surrounded with litherite crystals. And the redstone imbued obsidian plate requires redstone and a obsidian plate. But yeah, let's get some interconnects. Now I'm gonna get some tier 8 interconnects as well, and I'll explain why in a moment. Okay, redstone blocks, I think it was, right? Redstone blocks and monster light. And we'll need the null modifier as well. So if we throw these in here, well, litherite, redstone blocks, and lunselite crystal, we're gonna craft that frequency modifier. Now I'm gonna take these out of here so I can show you something else. So you can actually upgrade these modifiers. You don't have to go in order. You can actually skip all the tiers in between if you want. So if you want to use litherite tier modifiers all the way up until tier 8 multi-blocks, you can. And then you can go ahead and upgrade them. I forgot the upgrade recipe. What is it? Okay, so it's mica, which you can get in the resource miner, and then lunselite on the sides. So the upgrade recipes are basically the same for every modifier. What am I looking up? Mica. Throw that in there, and that's going to upgrade that modifier. And if for some reason you want to downgrade that again, you just throw this back in here with a litherite interconnect on the top, and that'll downgrade that to tier 1. Yeah, okay. And you can also do any of the other tier recipes with this. It'll kind of like override it. Alright, so since this is on its side, we're going to have to cheat in some bedrock here. So this will function. At some point there'll be a multi-block that'll allow you to run these on its side, so there'll be like a singularity multi-block or something. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with that yet, and you'll be able to point that into that instead, so that you can run void miners on their sides. Anyways, that's already getting ore. Let's speed this up. We're actually going to need to get some more of these so we can actually handle all the drops. Not that 2 hoppers is going to handle all these drops, but it'll at least handle more than what 1 can handle. Alright, let's throw some of these frequency modifiers in here. Now these are tier 8 frequency modifiers, so they're going to cost a lot to run. And they're also going to increase the speed by a lot. So you can see that this is running pretty fast. But yeah, in my environmental mods, you can now actually color the blocks in the multi-blocks. So what you'll need is this RGB controller, which is kind of cheap. Then you just right click it to bring the UI up, and you can select whatever color you want. So using these sliders, so if I wanted to make this void miner purple, just do that. Then I can right click any of the blocks to color them, and it's completely free. You don't need to craft any dyes or anything to do that. Also, if I wanted to add some other colors in here, like maybe a nice blue, I could throw colors in here like that, some blue in here, and you can mix and match whatever colors you like. The multi-block doesn't care what any of the blocks are, so you can mix and match as much as you like. Also, if you found a nice color and you change the color on your RGB controller, but you want to copy that color, all you need to do is you need to shift right click, and it'll copy that color into the RGB controller so that you can continue painting your multi-blocks with that color. And pretty much every block in the multi-blocks can support this coloring feature. So that's about it. I think I'm gonna wrap this introduction up here. If you guys have questions, or if you want to watch development or anything, feel free to come follow me on Twitch. I stream 5 days a week, so I stream quite a bit. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the new update, and bye.